What if I told you the biggest transfer shock of the summer isn't who moved, but who didn't? Let's unpack this wild week in football, where every move feels like a chess game with billion-dollar stakes. Take Arsenal, for example. They dropped their pursuit of Vinicius Jr. after he signed a new Real Madrid deal. But here's the kicker. Instead of settling, they're now eyeing Atletico's Julian Alvarez and PSG's Bradley Barcola. Why? Because in today's transfer market, patience is a luxury. Clubs aren't just chasing stars anymore. They're playing the long game, hedging bets on players who might be undervalued or overlooked. Personally, I think this shows how much the landscape has shifted. A decade ago, you'd lock in a top talent and ride them for years. Now it's all about flexibility, especially with the salary cap and financial fair play tightening the noose. It's like watching a high-stakes poker game where everyone's bluffing, but the stakes are measured in millions. Then there's Bruno Guimaraes' £75 million move to Arsenal. Let's be real, this is a number that screams statement. But is it smart? Well, Guimaraes is a World Cup winner, a leader, and a midfielder who can play multiple roles. But here's what people don't realize. That price tag isn't just about his talent. It's about the narrative. Arteta needs a figurehead, someone who can carry the weight of a title defense. And Guimaraes, in his own words, says he's hopeful we can achieve our dreams. That's not just motivation. It's a PR masterstroke. It tells fans we're serious about winning. But what about the financial risk? If this doesn't pan out, Arsenal could be stuck with a £75 million liability. That's the gamble, and it's a big one. Now let's talk about Rodri. The Manchester City captain is reportedly considering a move to Barcelona. Why? Because he's in the final year of his contract, and Barcelona's offer of £38 million was rejected. But here's the deeper question. What does this say about the state of football? Rodri is a world-class player, yet he's being courted by a club that's in financial turmoil. It's a sign that even the best players are starting to prioritize destinations that offer stability, not just trophies. Barcelona's appeal isn't just about the badge. It's about the promise of rebuilding. But if Rodri leaves, City's midfield could be gutted. That's a risk for Pep Guardiola, who's built his empire on consistency. This feels like the beginning of a seismic shift where players are no longer just loyal to clubs. They're loyal to their own futures. And then there's Mohamed Salah's move to Trabzonspor. Let's not sugarcoat it. This is a massive drop in prestige. But here's what's fascinating. Trabzonspor isn't just a retirement home. They're a club in Turkey that's investing heavily in infrastructure and global appeal. Salah's move could be the catalyst that turns them into a European powerhouse. But what does this mean for Liverpool? They're losing their talisman, a player who's been the heartbeat of their success. It's a reminder that no club is immune to the ebb and flow of player value. And if Salah's move is about money, it raises a deeper question. How much are clubs willing to pay for legacy versus performance? Finally, let's circle back to Newcastle. They're trying to replace Guimaraes with Hojbjerg, a 31-year-old with Premier League experience. But here's the catch. Hojbjerg isn't a young, hungry talent. He's a veteran. Newcastle's gamble is on experience over potential. It's a bold move, but also shows how financially constrained clubs are. They can't afford to take risks on unproven stars anymore. It's a microcosm of the modern game, where pragmatism trumps ambition. And that's the reality. Football's evolving into a business where every decision is a calculated risk, and the biggest winners are those who adapt fastest.